Today, I'll be playing the WSOP main event, Day 1B, their circuit series here at Harrahs Pompano Beach. It's a $1,700 buy-in, should be over $200,000 for first place. I registered for this tournament in level number 7, 40,000 chips, 40-minute levels. Let's get started. With blinds at 501,000, my very first hand at the table is pocket queens. Good start for us. I raised a 2.5x from early position, $2,500. Only the big blind player makes the call. So we're going heads up here to ace, ace, 10. He checks to me, I bet out 1,500, and my opponent makes the call. Turn card's a king, another over card to my pair. I'm going to slow down now and check, and the river card is a 7. He checks to me, I decide to check this one back, and we lose to king-queen. A couple hands later, I get dealt in queen 10 of diamonds. A player who's been very active at the table raises to 2,200. I decided to 3-bet here in the cutoff to 5,000, thinking that if he's raising a lot of hands, maybe he'll give me some respect and fold. I started this hand with around 35 big blinds, back over to my opponent, who decides to make the call. So we're going heads up here in position with queen 10 of diamonds to king 7-5 with no diamond. All in all, not the worst flop. I mean, it's pretty good for my 3-bet range, but we just don't have anything going on this board. No straight draws, no pairs, no backdoor flush draws. When he checks to me, I feel like this is a pretty standard c-bet spot, so I make it 3,000 and my opponent calls. Turn card now is a 6. I've got around 28 big blinds in my stack. I have to decide now, do I want to continue to barrel or do I want to just give up? And I think this is a card we just want to give up on. It doesn't give us any extra equity. It's not really a scare card. Could be better for him than it is for me. So I check back. River pairs the board with another king. My opponent leads out. We've got queen high, so we fold. Not the best start, but maybe that will change here with a suited connector. 8-7 suited on the button. I raise, and only the big blind makes the call. He covers me in this hand, and we see a flop of king 8-2. One spade. Second pair for me, he checks. I bet out 2,000, and my opponent snap calls my bet. Turn card's a jack of spades, now giving me a pair and a flush draw. It's kind of close between betting again here or checking this one back. I think this is just a spot we just want to check and try to realize our equity. If I bet and he goes all in, we'll be in a nasty spot. So I check back and get there on the river, not with a flush, but with 2 pair. It's a 7 of hearts. My opponent checks over to me. I think the pot's around 10,000 or so. I've got around 20,000 in my stack. This guy just did not seem like the folding type. So I decided to go for it here, trying to make it look bluffy. And I go all in for a 2x pot size bet. Right when I go all in, my opponent starts thinking and talking to himself out loud. He says, this must be a complete airball. He also says, what hands would you have here that would not bet the turn and then bet all in on the river? Ace queen, he says, ace 9. He's going over all these hands in his head, and obviously we are loving this spot with 2 pair. We're praying for a call. The last time I played this tournament just about 3 months ago, I ran very deep. I had the biggest tournament score of my life, cashing for $13,000, getting 14th place. I want to try to make it deep again in this tournament, and it looks like that may happen when my opponent makes the call. 8-7 suited, 2 pair for us, and we get the double up.
22,000? 22-2. Video it? Got it on video it?
Yep.
No.
Somewhat of a slow start, but I will take it a double up to 54,000 chips, making it to level number 8 now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good luck over there.
I don't even need a rack.
7 of hearts.
We get switch tables, and this table looks much tougher than my first table. I do survive one more level to level number 9, and then we get to go on a 60-minute dinner break. The goal is just to survive, chip up, and try to make it to day number 2. Alright, we are on dinner break. I came here to Publix, which is a very well-known Florida grocery store. Got myself some snacks and some food. We're heading back to the poker room now. I got a double up there with 8-7 of spades for 2 pair on the river. But other than that, haven't really found any good, interesting spots. Going back at 40,000 chips, blinds at 1,000, 2,000. So we are in need of another double up. My table isn't too good. A lot of good tournament players. Hoping to get lucky. Let's go. Back from our dinner break with a 40,000 chip stack. Blinds at 1,000, 2,000. That leaves us with 20 big blinds. I get dealt in a monster right away. Ace of diamonds, king of diamonds. Ace king suited is super strong in a tournament. I raised to 4K. Only the big blind makes the call with just about 5 big blinds left. The flop comes out 9 high with 1 diamond, and she just leads all in for about a pot-sized bet. Never folding here, so I make the call and get shown 10-4 of diamonds. She's got bottom pair, but it doesn't matter. The turn's an ace. River is a king, and we knock out this player. We take down around 10 big blinds here with Big Slick. This next hand is one of these spots where I'm not exactly sure about. I've got 30 big blinds in my stack. The button goes all in for 13 big blinds. I've got ace-10 offsuit and rejam all in as well, and we're up against pocket threes. So we're all in. We do cover this opponent, so we're not at risk. We're trying to hit an ace, a 10, a straight, a flush, but we miss everything. And our stack goes from around 55,000 chips to 25,000 chips in one single hand. Not the best situation, but in tournaments, you just gotta win those flips. Another situation which is much better is when we're under the gun and look down at pocket aces. I raise here to 2x, 4,000. Small blind makes a call for 4,000 before the big blind, who I just doubled up, ace-10 versus pocket threes, goes all in himself. A pretty dream spot here with pocket aces. I go all in as well. Small blind folds, and we're up against pocket queens. A great spot to get our money back and double up. Flop is clean, turn even cleaner. We just got to fade 2 outs now. A queen and a queen only beats us, and we do fade that. 4 of diamonds, aces hold, double up coming our way. I do believe this is the biggest stack I've had all tournament. 65,000 chips in front of me. We have made it now to level number 11, where our table ends up breaking. I get moved over to another table and get dealt in a beautiful big premium again with around 20 big blinds in my stack. I look down at pocket kings. I raise the 2 big blinds. The big blind player calls. We go heads up in position. I bet the flop. He folds, and we take down 3.5 bigs here. One level later, I've got 15 big blinds. We're getting close to that danger zone. I've got ace queen offsuit from early position. I min raise to 6K. Middle position player flat calls 6K before the big blind goes all in for 15 bigs. With all this dead money in the pot, ace queen offsuit, I am all in myself. And the middle position player snap calls my all in and shows pocket kings. Oh my God. I got trapped. I'm up against pocket kings and pocket threes. I've got to get there on the flop, and I do with top 2 pair, turns an ace. I turn them dead, and just like that, I end up getting a massive triple up late in the tournament. Level number 12, huge hand for us. We go from 15 big blinds, danger zone, all the way up to a massive stack, the biggest stack I've had all tournament, of 125,000 chips.
That's 2, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that it's you can give to me.
Small and my big.
All right, we are on break again. What a huge spot that was. Ace queen all in against pocket kings, against pocket threes. We were in need of some help, and we got it. 2 pair on the flop, full house on the turn for a massive triple up. I was short stacked basically the entire day, like 30, 25, 20 big blinds down to 15 big blinds. So it is nice to win a big pot. However, the blinds are going up. I think I'm going back to around 35 big blinds. We're still in it. Couple more hours left until we bag, and then hopefully make it to day 2. Out here they have a brand new Top Golf, which is pretty cool, right next to the casino. Not a bad location. We're gonna go back in now. Hopefully we can continue to run good. Maybe we'll pick up some cards, get some chips. Let's Go. Back from the break, level number 13, they put out the payouts. A min cash is 2,500. We're also playing to 42 make the money, and 28 players make day 2. 72 players remaining. Let's stay in this. Well, but it is now my turn to get pocket kings. Let's try not to get cracked by ace queen offsuit. I raise under the gun to 8k. This is a min raise at 2k, 4k. I get 3-bet by the cutoff player to 20,000 chips. Back over now to the big blind, who's got 35,000 chips, and he goes all in. So let's recap this action. I raise under the gun to a min raise sizing. I get cutoff 3-bet to 20,000. Big blind goes all in for 35,000. I've got around 120k in my stack, and I'm kind of in an interesting spot here with kings. I mean, it is possible one of these guys could have aces. They could have ace king, queens, jacks, tens. I think in this situation with around 30 big blinds in my stack, I don't want to just call this 35k and allow the cutoff player to get in there with hands that could potentially crack me. There's a lot of money in this pot. Pocket kings is a good hand, so I'm going to 5-bet rip it all in for 30 big blinds and pray to the poker gods we can win this one. After going all in, the cutoff player doesn't think for too long and folds his cards. He had around 120k in his stack as well. I get shown that I'm up against pocket jacks by the big blind. Kings against jacks. We're in a great spot to win another pot. Flop is clean. Turn, clean. River, clean. Nice. We win another hand. Just like that, our stack is getting up there. We have 185,000 in our stack with 56 players left. 42 make the money. We're good for 37 big blinds. We should be able to just coast right in. Just a few hands later, a cutoff player raises all in for 70,000 chips. I'm in the big blind now with 185,000 chips and look down at ace king. I call and get shown I'm up against ace 5. Another great spot if we can hold to win another big pot. Flop comes out with an ace on it. We're looking good. 3 on the turn. 1 card left. It's a 5. Oh my God. He only had a 5 and a 5 only to win this hand, and he finds it to end up getting the double up, and this was a huge pot. 70,000 chips he had in his stack that I should be getting over 70% of the time, and I just couldn't hold. In these tournaments, you got to hold in these big spots. This one was pretty devastating to me, although we do still have a lot of chips left. This would have really propelled us up over the 300,000 mark and get us sitting in a nice spot. This next hand is a fun one that I play up against a chip leader of our table. I raise ace 7 of spades on the dealer button, and he makes the call out of the small blind, heads up to a flop of king, queen, 2 with 1 spade. He checks over to me, and I feel like on this flop, my hands that I raise pre-flop compared to the hands that he calls out of the small blind are going to connect much more. I feel like a lot of the time he's going to have middling suited connectors, maybe some suited aces, and some pocket pairs. He shouldn't have hands like king, queen, kings, ace, queen, queens, aces. So I bet out small here, 6,000, and my opponent makes the call. Turn card is a 4 of spades, now giving me the nut flush draw. He checks over to me again. I think this is a spot where we're just going to want a double barrel. In the past, in tournaments, I may have just waved the white flag and given up here and maybe lost to a hand like queen jack or queen 10 or a better ace high like ace 10 or ace jack. But I think in this spot, we want to bet big, like close to the size of the pot, and then potentially go all in depending on what comes out on the river. So I decided to make it 42,000, which is the size of the pot, praying for a fold. If he does call, maybe we can hit an ace or a spade on the river, but luckily it doesn't come to that. This semi-bluff gets through, and we win this small pot. After that hand, we have 125,000 in our stack. Blinds at 3K, 6K, 48 players left in level number 15. We got to get to 42 to get that min cash. 6 players have to bust out in order for us to get paid. After winning that pocket kings 3-way all-in, I felt like I would be able to cruise right into the money, but that hasn't happened. I've gotten short stacked, very short stacked, down to 13 big blinds, 44 players left. I just gotta fade out 2 more people. I get dealt in some trash hands and eventually just fold my way in to the money. Officially made the money.
Alright, everybody, if you haven't been knocked out at this time, sit, seat, dealers, holler, fail. I'm going to give you a pass ticket. You'll go up here, see Anthony at the desk.
After the money bubble bursts, a lot of players are playing a little bit more aggressive, trying to get those double ups. And of course, after an hour of folding, I finally get some playable hands worthy of going all in with. Luckily for me, I shove probably 3 to 4 times and nobody calls every single time that I go all in, which means I just keep picking up 2.5 big blinds every single time, which is great for my stack. I go from a complete short stack of less than 10 big blinds to a decent sized stack, moving into another table with 31 players left.
I guess.
I honestly didn't think I was going to make it this far. I've had a short stack for basically the last 4 hours, but I do end up making it to the final 28 players of this Flight B of the main event and bag up my chips for day number 2, fighting for $200,000+ for first place. Hey, whoa, it's me. Okay, you messed up the carpet, huh? Where? We have made it to day number 2 of the WSOP circuit main event here at Harrahs, Pompano Beach in Florida. Locked up around $3,000 so far. Felt like I played good today. I didn't punt, didn't make any terrible call downs. I got lucky in some good spots, got unlucky in some spots, ended up kind of squeaking right in. We're coming back day number 2 with around 9 big blinds, which is Sunday. Tonight it's Friday night. It was a long day. I'm absolutely starving. I hardly ate anything all day. Tournament poker's a grind. I'm excited to get back. I'm excited I'm in the money. I'm excited to make day 2. Let's run deep again. I'll see you guys on Sunday. I get up nice and early for me on Sunday and take the dogs on a nice long walk. Get myself some fresh air and some sunshine, knowing that I possibly could be in the poker room for another 10 hours, potentially playing for a huge cash of over $200,000. River, go get it. As I ride the escalator up to the poker room, the nerves start to kick in. I realize this is a big one. There's 102 players left of almost 1,000 entrants. Like I said on Friday night, we only have 9 big blinds, but in tournament poker, anything can happen. You can get a double up, win a bunch of pots, and become the chip leader within 1 level. Let's go. I end up having to go through the blinds, and then with only 69K in my stack, good for 7 big blinds, I've got an ace and a 9. That is going to be it for us. We are all in for our tournament life. With a hand like ace-9, we're just hoping that everybody folds, and we can take down these 2.5 big blinds in the middle, which is exactly what happens. Everybody folds, we win, and we're still in this tournament. Now with 94K, we look down at pocket 9s. We went from ace-9 to pocket 9s. We're under the gun and all in for 9 big blinds. Again, we're not really looking to get called. You don't really want to flip for your entire tournament life. It's just great to take down these 2.5 big blinds. Now, if we get called by a lower pocket pair or an ace-5 or ace-4, we'll be in great shape. But really, we're just trying to survive, trying to knock out other players, and just try to keep on keeping on, as Joe Dirt says, which is what happens again. Everybody folds, we take down the blinds, and we are still alive. I go through the blinds and our table ends up breaking. Unfortunately, I had to play the big blind at my table before the table ended up breaking, and then I got moved to a new table where I come in the hijack position. So I did get to miss paying my small blind, but I also missed playing the button in the cutoff position, so I guess it's somewhat fair, but we're short again. We need a double up. You know what is a great hand to get when you're looking for a double up in day number 2 of a tournament? How about pocket queens? Until the dealer misdeals, which means our pocket queens do not count. Basically what happened is there was a new player in the small blind who shouldn't have been dealt in, but he was dealt in, which means pocket queens don't count. Kind of tilting, even though it wasn't our hand anyway. It was nice to look at a nice premium. Maybe we can get this on a real deal and get a double up. Well, the next hand we are all in, but it's not with a hand as pretty as pocket queens. It's an ace and an offsuit 4, but with 7 big blinds, it's just all going in the middle. And I have to say, so far, I've been pretty lucky with my all-ins pre-flop. I haven't been called or coolered or bad beat by any good hands, so I'll take it, and I'll take it again here, where the blinds end up folding, and just like that, we go from 7 big blinds to around 9.5 bigs. There's 88 players left. We started the day with 102. There's no real big pay jumps, just trying to survive and try to make it deeper in this tournament. It is nice that we're just coasting along with 6 to 7 to 8 or 9 big blinds, but if we want to try to make this final table or even win this tournament, we need a big double up, and we get that opportunity here with 6 big blinds in my stack. Ace-9 offsuit, we are all in. Folds around to the big blind who calls with Queen-Jack. We're ahead, but just barely. Let's see if we can hold. There's so much adrenaline in these all-in situations, especially when I'm trying to film the board. I don't even realize that I make a straight on the turn. The river card's a paint. I feel like I lost, but it's the king of hearts. We are good. And then after the fact, I realize, oh wow, I had him dead on the turn. A double up, a huge hand for us. Less than 90 players left in the main event here. Ace-9 is good, which pumps us up to around 13 big blinds, which gives us a lot of life left in this tournament. The goal is to keep on keeping on. Very next hand, I'm in the big blind with 9-10 suited. There's a 2.5x raise, a call from the cutoff. I complete here and flop top pair on 9-6-2 with 2 hearts. 9 big blinds in my stack, around 8 big blinds in the middle. I think I could just lead jam all in, given the fact that my hand does need a lot of protection on this board. But I decided to check. Middle position initial raiser now checks, and the cutoff player who just flat called pre-flop with around 25 big blinds now bets around 40,000 chips. I have around 110,000 chips left in my stack with 9 big blinds, top pair. I just think we're going to have to go with this one. We could be beat by some slow played overpairs like 10s, jacks, queens, kings, and aces. Do feel like this opponent would jam those hands a lot of the time. We could be beating hands like 7s and 8s, or maybe he could have a worse 9, 8-9, 7-9. He could have some flush draws, but all in all, I just don't think we're ever folding our hands, so I go all in. Middle position player folds and cutoff snap calls and shows pocket kings. We got trapped here, but we still do have some outs. Any 9, any 10, runner straight. We've got to get lucky. The turn card's a 7, giving us more outs. Any 8 now gives us a straight. Maybe we can get there. Maybe we can make a huge double up, but we do not. River card pairs the board, and just like that, we are out.
No.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nice hand.
Thank you.
I didn't see those greens forward, sir.
We are out of the WSOP circuit main event here at Harrahs Pompano Beach in Florida. Good for $3,324, 76th place out of almost 1,000 people. All in all, I'm happy with the way I played. I feel like I played well. Didn't make any terrible mistakes, didn't make any huge pre-flop blunders, didn't punt off my stack. And one thing I felt like I did better this tournament was that I played a little bit more aggressive, something that maybe I haven't done as well in the past. So all in all, I'm happy with the way I played. I was pretty much short stacked like almost half of day number 1, and I feel like I navigated that pretty well. Today coming in only 9 big blinds, and I outlasted like 25 players, got a small pay jump. So I'm happy with the way I played. I'm happy with the performance. I did say that I wasn't going to play tournaments for a while, but this one was just too good to pass up. Only 20 minutes away from my house. They run great tournaments here at Harrahs Pompano Beach. Also, I knew it was going to be a big $200,000+ for first place. Wish I could have made it back to that top 20 like I did last time, but what can you do? Little fun fact, today is Super Bowl Sunday. Las Vegas, Nevada, the Niners and the Chiefs are playing for the Super Bowl, and I am not a football fan at all. When I was growing up, my dad was never into football, my mom was never into football, my brother was not into football, so we were just not a football family. We wrestled. I was wrestling every single weekend during football season on Sundays. I was traveling to go wrestle on Mondays. I was at wrestling practice and lifting. So I was just never a big football fan, never got into football at all. My extended family a little bit is into football, but one thing I did realize is that I can name more Taylor Swift songs than players who are playing in the Super Bowl tonight. The only player that I know is Mahomes, who's playing for one of the teams. And I think I can name at least 6 or 7 Taylor Swift songs. So I don't know what that says about me. You guys are to judge, but it's a beautiful day here in Florida. You can't get much better than this. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time outside, walk the dogs, get some sun, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll watch the game, get some food, drinks, maybe play some more poker. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Got some big live streams coming up next. Make sure to stay tuned for that. Until next time, I'll see you.